Hello. In this video, I want to show you one of the most exciting and bonkers free things that I think exist in the world of software synthesis. That is the DSP-56-300 crew, aka the usual suspects, a group of programmers who are allowing vintage bin files that would have been the brains of synths like the Nord Lead 2 and perhaps things like the JP-8000, the Access Virus, all of these legendary synths from the 90s. These people are allowing these to run in a DAW and be heard. Don't even worry about it. What you are looking at is a thing called JE-8086. This is an unbelievable feat of reverse engineering. And what it is it's a piece of software that is talking to the actual ROM files, the MIDI ROM files that I got from Roland's website. I go here, I download the operating system for the JP-8000. I put the MIDI files in the same location as the VST3 that these folks make, and it is running the official firmware and letting me hear it. I think technically the word is emulation, except when it's actually using the real firmware. Can you really call it an emulation? What? It's just like the actual grains of a JP-8000 made to work in plug-in form. You know? No biggie. I find it hard to contain my impressiveness with this. And there is a fantastic video, by the way. If you go here, this is called 39C3 From Silicon to Darude Sandstorm, in which the lovely Spanish chap explains how they went about this job. And let me tell you that it is not a case of simply just plugging the firmware into, you know, a basic piece of code and off you go. You actually need to literally deconstruct how the firmware must be interpreted by the Roland chips in order to do this, which they did with a whole variety of methods, including machine learning and having decapped the actual chips themselves, like cracked them open, so that when they have the firmware, they can literally plug the firmware into their interpreter, and it provides the output that can be interpreted the correct way. There's an insane level of reverse engineering that has to happen for this to happen, and yet it has happened. The fact that there are people who are doing this for free and putting up the work, months and months and months of insane head scratching. It's functionally a very, very similar thing to what's happening in the world of vintage gaming. You know, MAME, where you're able to play vintage arcade machines in a modern browser or on a Mac or Raspberry Pi or whatever it is. This is basically that. Now, of course, there's a legal issue because I don't know if you're allowed to have the code for everything, but I can tell you that you can get the code for the Roland JP-8000 on the Roland website because they give it to you. And of course, that's not the only thing. Of special interest to me is Nodal Red 2X, which is the Nord Lead. I have right next to me a Nord Rack 2, which I love. And so having the sound of this in my DAW is very exciting. I mean, maybe the output DAC can be said to comprise a sort of part of the tone, but in any case, I don't think that's the most meaningful part. And so this means you can play the sound of this synthesizer to your heart's content. There are some sounds included in this, but what I'm interested in is just a zero sound, maybe. Because of course, this. There you go, mate. That's what you came here for. Where's LFO1, mate? He's there. Sharp. And off you go. Anyway, I'm not here to demonstrate the JP-8000s. I don't think that's really the most important part of this. I just want you to know that this exists. I also want to say that the way that this is installed, by the way, is that you can get the VST3 and then with the MIDI files from Roland, you put them in the same directory as the VST itself. That's how you do it. So you put the MIDI files in the VST3 directory. And my God, it just opened and worked. You can donate to these people, and I might encourage you to support them because not only did they have to spend money and deconstruct and buy and tear apart things to make this and bring this to the world, a thing that just doesn't exist in any other way, shape or form, quite the same. This is not a clone. This is a JP-8000 in the DAW in 2026. Nearly 30 years later. Well, bloody done. Check out the links below and check out their other projects too. Thanks.